Hey, I'm Neko Fantasy, and I want to talk today about my experience at the North American FanFest 2023. This was my very first FanFest, and there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about, mainly my expectations, my experience, and my thoughts of the convention since I've come home. So let's just dive right into it. I've been to several conventions in my years, and I have never experienced a convention that was so difficult to attend. Once they announced the dates of this convention, I knew I had to go because it was happening on my birthday. It was the perfect reason to go to FanFest. I'm a major Final Fantasy fan. I love Final Fantasy, love Final Fantasy XIV, and it's on my birthday. I have to go. But getting tickets for FanFest was more difficult than I had ever expected. I have attended huge anime conventions before, and they are so much easier to attend than this ever was. When they first announced how the ticket sales were going to roll out, they first rolled out a lottery system, which was an opt-in lottery system. And several of my Final Fantasy XIV friends opted in for the lottery system. I know a whole FC that opted into the lottery system, and no one that I know personally won a lottery win. So our only hope was for the public sale. And there was a lot of worry that anyone who won the lottery system was going to buy all the tickets and it was going to be scalped and yada, yada, yada. But luckily there was a lot of public sale tickets left for purchase. And on the date that the public sale tickets went up for sale, myself, my sister, and a friend of mine happened to have the day off, and we camped on our computers waiting in queue with a little stick figure Endwalker guy, and we were hoping that we would get the tickets. And out of the three of us, one of us did manage to get 2 tickets. We knew in my friend group that only 2 of us were going to attend. 4 of us was going to go to Vegas, but only 2 of us was going to attend the FanFest. And we were beyond ecstatic when we got the 2 tickets. When one of my friends was able to get through the queue and purchase the 2 tickets for us, that was the best day ever. I've never felt such a relief and anxiety in my life before than getting these tickets, because it was wild to think that of convention of this hype, of this, popularity, was just so difficult to attend and to just get a ticket for. But we managed to get them. So FanFest was on. We got our hotel, we got our flights booked, and when the time came, we finally made our way to FanFest, and we couldn't be even more excited. So for the 2 of us that were attending FanFest, this was our first FanFest ever. We've heard about other FanFests. We've heard how amazing they were and how exciting they were. So we had a lot of expectations. We didn't really know what to expect. We had a lot of assumptions. And I'll get into those assumptions later on in the video. On day 0, we arrived on Thursday to pick up our pre-registration wristband and our goodie bag, and just to get that out of the way so we didn't have to worry about it on Friday. Walking up to the convention center, it looks nice. It was a nice convention center. It was bigger than I expected, because I remember there was a lot of talk saying like it's too small and they're sharing it with other conventions. We didn't even notice the other convention. Like, there was one other convention that we noticed on I think it was day 1 or day 2. We didn't, at least for myself, there was no hiccup in traffic and walking in foot traffic with this other convention. But anyway, so on day 0, we went to pre-registration, picked up our badges and our goodie bags, and the line for pre-registration was quite long, but it moved very quickly. So I was very impressed with, thankfully the line was inside the venue, and even though it snaked around several hallways, it moved very quickly. Like, we were there like less than an hour, if I can remember correctly. We got our goodie bags, and when we got back to our hotel room, we unpacked them and, appreciated them. The goodie bag items were awesome. Like, I love this bag. It's going to be my new purse for a while. The squishy grapes is like the highlight of the entire package. The keychain's good, the magnet's good, the pen is good, like everything is great. And they even gave us like Final Fantasy trading cards, which I don't know if this is a seriously played game, but I was happy with the cards that I got. But one item in the goodie bag that really surprised me was the golden ticket, which was a photo session opportunity with a couple members of the development team. I don't know if there was also an autograph session ticket, but I just know that there was photograph sessions. And I asked my friend, hey, I got Koji Fox and Soken for my photo session. Who did you get? And he goes, what are you talking about? I don't have that in my bag. And I was like, I was bewildered. I was like, what do you mean you don't have it in your bag? We should go to registration and say you didn't get your ticket. And then I came to realize that, oh, not everyone got this. This was an RNG thing. This was like a total random thing that only certain goodie bags had. And I was kind of disappointed by that because I didn't go to FanFest hoping to get a photo session. I just wanted to go to FanFest. But I was kind of like, well, my heart went out to people who traveled such a distance and made so many plans for the intention to get autographs and photographs, because I have done that. I've gone to conventions where I make it my mission to get an autograph from all these certain people, and to know that not a lot of people got to have that, it's kind of disappointing. I would definitely be bummed out if I didn't get a photograph ticket and my heart was set on getting one, but it is what it is, I guess. I kind of wish this was like an opt-in thing, but anyway. So now we're here at day one. Getting inside FanFest was easier than I expected. So we left for the convention hall a little before 10 o'clock, like around like 9:45, and we got there as the doors were opening, and we were able to just walk in. There, to my surprise, there was a huge line snaking the perimeter of the venue. People were standing in the sun in full costume for who knows how long. I don't know why they let that happen. Why did they let these poor people stand outside? It's Vegas. We managed to get in fairly quickly because as my friend and I showed up to the venue, the doors were opening. So we just walked in with the mob. And that's when we saw the security line. And we were really quite surprised that we were moving along pretty quickly because we knew to expect the security line. But the security line just ended up being go, move along, go. They just kept waving us through. They didn't even bother to look if I had a wristband. They didn't bother to check my bag. They didn't check anything. They just said, keep going. And I was kind of shocked by that, considering like how the website made it out to seem that they were going to be following these security rules very strictly, and that was never the case. So we got into the venue hall, and it was, awesome to see. We saw the main stage, and what was even wild, like as the doors were opening, like I don't know how long they had been trying to queue people inside the building, but as the doors were opening, there was already people sitting in all of the seats at the main stage. Like every single seat was taken. We tried to look for a couple seats. They were all taken. So we just went to the back of the room and we just standed in the standing section, and we were able to enjoy the show, the keynote, the live letter, everything from the back of the room. It was a lot more spacious. The floor was the floor, it's only as comfortable as floor can be, but it wasn't terrible. And there were screens everywhere, so we got to see a good view of the stage events. So I wasn't too bummed out about sitting in a seat. The photo session was really cool. Like I said, I wasn't even expecting to have this opportunity, and I was able to get a photo with Soken and Koji Fox and the rest of the Primals, and I thank them for having FanFest on my birthday. That was very nice of them. And in and out. It was a very quick and easy process. No complaints there. I just wish that people who wanted this opportunity had a chance to get it. The events in the main hall were honestly pretty lackluster. One of the coolest things that FanFest did have was they had these actors who were role-playing as the Gleamers from Charlene, and they were giving out quests to attendees. And these quests were very simple. They were like, take a selfie doing this, or take a selfie with that. And it was really cute how they would explain like, oh, it's a new trend of adventurers that seem to be cradling the moon. Do this and show your proof to the redemption desk. And it was like really cute, and they were all in character, and their costumes were great, and they were all very sweet in my experience. I didn't hear any hiccups with these guys. They were awesome. And all the side quests that they had were, like I said, they were all just like, take a selfie with this. and they weren't really hard to do. There were some quests that were kind of like annoying because there was a long line just to do them. Like there was one side quest where you had to take a photo with a Namazu inside a barrel, and there was a ridiculously long line for that stupid barrel, so we decided to go for it later. And the same thing with like the 10th anniversary sign. You had to take a photo with that, striking a pose, and there was a long line for that. So there was like there was some with a ridiculously long line, and we just kind of opted in for like ones that were just quick and easy to do. We ended up redeeming our quest the next day, because at FanFest they had like an app where you can like check in your quests, and you can get like you scan a QR code and you get like it's like a sign of completion that you did the quest, good job. And we were told like, oh yeah, you redeem your quest at the redemption desk and you get a reward. Well, the rewards were nothing. They were a big giant nothing burger. In fact, when we went to go line up for our rewards, they were so fed up with the line that the staff was just passing out the reward and not scanning QR codes or anything like that. So I could have just easily hopped back online and get more rewards if I wanted to. But the reward was a poster of the Endwalker end card and a sticker of a NPC. I got lucky and I got Grahatia, which no complaints here, but my friend didn't care for Grahatia, so he just gave his away, and he never went back to try to get a different sticker. But I did hear that like there were different NPCs that people could get. There was like Aaronville and Kryl and so forth. So it's a shame that my friend didn't have a chance to choose his reward, and the rewards were just, here's a poster and a sticker that everyone's getting. It's like, oh, what about a t-shirt, or I don't know, a emote or a piece of glam, just something more enticing, because those quests were not really hard to do, and the reward was kind of meh, because not everyone cares about stickers and posters, you know. And also with the booths that they had of the different locations, they were really cool. They look really neat. They're great photo ops and stuff like that, but the actual activities were really lame in my opinion. Like Pandemonium was basically Simon Says. We did the Charlian fishing one, and it was like, catch as many fish with this magnet as you can in 1 minute, and I caught like 4 fish. I was like, I caught 4 fish, what do I get? You get nothing. But like after completing the events, you're supposed to scan a QR code and show it to the redemption desk and get a reward. But again, everyone's getting the same kind of subpar reward. And there was one booth that I didn't even do. I just walked up to the staff members like, hey, can I scan the QR badge? And they're like, yeah, here you go. So you didn't even have to do them. I think the coolest spot in the main hall, like the coolest like little booth, was the Razadhan Lounge. That was super cool, super cozy, great place to chill, very comfortable. Love the vibe. Everything was great. I think that was the coolest corner in the main hall. The other thing that was quite disappointing was the battle challenge. That was the one thing that my friend and I were very much looking forward to, was the battle challenge. But at previous FanFest, we knew that if you did the battle challenge, you get a t-shirt saying you defeated this boss. And we were very excited about it. But after a very confusing like line experience, we did the event and we went up to a staff member, was like, hey, where do we get our shirt? And they're like, yeah, there's no shirts this year. And we were like, we would have never have done this if we knew this. So like, I'm quite confident that the line that was the battle challenge line would have been completely halved if everyone knew, yeah, you're not getting a shirt this year. So we didn't even try for the merch booth. The line made no sense to us. We knew that we knew what items were available for purchase in the merch booth, and we were like, I'm satisfied. I don't need anything from the merch booth. If I did, I could just buy it on the online store. I don't need to stand in this line and waste my time standing in a line for something I can get on the internet. So, but not a lot of people felt that way. They were really determined to get into the merch booth, and that was an absolute mess that I didn't even want to touch. On day one, the event that we look forward to the most was the piano concert, and that was an experience. That was a very beautiful show, Soken was amazing. Amanda was amazing. Keiko was amazing. Great show. No complaints there. Saturday, we watched the live letter as it started, and we just chilled, had a late breakfast, and watched the live letter, and it was, you know, a live letter. You've seen it all before. On day 2, after the live letter, since the only thing we were looking forward to see was the Primal concert, we left the convention. We went back to our hotel and just hung out, had some lunch, spent some time with some friends, did a couple things around the hotel, and came back for the concert. Again, security. What security? I could have brought booze and water and all these drinks to the convention because I definitely needed to bring water and I forgot to bring water. And no one would have stopped me, but it just boggles my mind, like how there was like no security for this convention with especially with how many people attended FanFest. The Primals concert was great. I had a good experience. We were standing in the back, but we inched closer as much as we could. And we had a great time. And after the concert, we stayed for the closing ceremonies, and it was, you know, wonderful and beautiful and emotional. So it was great to see everyone's, you know, thanking us, and we thanked them, and everyone cried. It was great. So much confetti. And then we left, and we went back to our hotel, enjoyed the rest of our vacation. Coming back home after FanFest is when I started to hear the whispers of like all the aftermath issues, especially when it came to Americans with disabilities. From what I can understand from complaints I've seen online is that there was barely any ADA accommodations, and that's quite disappointing, especially with a company that I grew up with and admire and love. They dropped the ball on this one. They can do better, and this was not something that they should have missed the mark on, and it's disappointing. My heart goes out to anyone who had to deal with those issues. I hope they learn from this and they don't have these same issues at FanFest UK and Japan. The security was abysmal. It honestly felt like there was zero security at FanFest, and that's very disappointing, especially in America where major acts of violence happen all the time in these very public and crowded events. And it's just disappointing that security didn't make an effort. I don't know what was happening. I don't know why security was so lax as it was. I do remember hearing online that there was a threat made to FanFest. I don't know whatever became of that threat. I remember hearing rumors that, oh, they've been monitoring the guy got arrested, this, and this. Everyone please be safe. And I don't know if that threat was ever real or not. I personally never verified this. But just to know, just the thought of someone even joking about a threat to an event like FanFest is quite terrifying. And it's frustrating that experiencing security as it was, yeah, it was convenient for me as an attendee because it meant I got into the venue faster. But that doesn't mean that's how it should be. I want to go to a public event where I feel safe, and there was no security. There was also mass confusion between staff. There was a lot of occasions where we would ask a person, what are you in line for? I'm in line for this. I would go up the line. Hey, what are you in line for? I'm in line for that. And I would finally find a staff member and I say, hey, what is this line for? And they're like, oh, this is a line for this. And there's no, coordination between staff members. Like no one knew anything was going on. Every staff member we asked a question had a different answer for whatever line we were in. And it was quite frustrating to experience because we just want to do these events. We want to do these battle challenges, but we don't even know we're staying in the right place. So it was disappointing to see the staff struggle with that, because you could tell that they were just as exhausted and just as frustrated with the lack of information that they were given. My final thoughts on FanFest is that even though this was my first FanFest, it's not going to be my last FanFest, but my next FanFest won't be for a very long time. I'm not eager to go back to FanFest. So when they eventually announce 8.0, I'm not going to go to that FanFest. I just won't. I've never experienced a convention that was so difficult to attend and coordinate and plan, where only possibly myself and one other person could attend in my friend group who really wanted to go. We did have a potential third who wanted to go, but we never got a ticket for her because we couldn't. And that's kind of ridiculous that you have people who want to attend your event, but they just can't because your ticket sales are just so difficult to do. This was a ridiculously expensive event, and the activities at the event weren't even worth really doing, especially with the rewards that we got. What I was looking forward to the most at FanFest was the piano concert, the Primals concert, the keynote, and the live letter. And I got to experience that, and I could have easily experienced that from home. Like I said, not my last FanFest, but I wouldn't go again anytime soon. I'm very much glad that I got to go because this is such an exclusive event to go to, and it's a very rare opportunity to go to. And I would like to go to another one day, not anytime soon. What I really hope that Square does look into, because I think it will make a lot of more people happy and be more comfortable, is they need to look into having a digital package. I know that BlizzCon does have a digital pass. I don't know if they still do that. But I would very much rather experience FanFest from the comfort and safety of my own home than actually go to Vegas or California and attend FanFest in person. The only thing that I would hope that they would do, like I would gladly pay like $50 for a digital ticket to watch all of FanFest, to experience the concerts from my home. Give me incentives, give me some minions, give me some emotes, give me some glamour. Maybe make an in-game event or instance where people can experience the concert, kind of like how they do concert events in like games like Fortnite and whatever. That would be cool. You know, we all pile into, I don't know, the moon and watch a concert in the moon or something. Like, give us something to do in the game in tandem with FanFest. I know that's like pie in the sky dreams, but if you want to mitigate attendance, give us an online experience that would give us incentives to watch FanFest opposed to actually attending FanFest. I do remember when the FanFest tickets went on sale, there was a lot of frustrations of like, how could they only sell this many tickets? Why would they go to a venue that's so small? There was a lot of people there. Like, I underestimated how many people were there in my own head because I was like, this is so many. I wasn't expecting it to be this big. The venue was huge. Again, this is my opinion. The venue was huge. There were so many people there, and I don't think bigger is better. I don't think having a bigger venue and more attendees is a solution. I think FanFest is best when it's a smaller, more intimate experience. It makes it easier for the staff. It makes it easier for the attendees and for the developers and the showrunners. But yeah, for my first time attending FanFest, it was pretty lackluster. I am very glad and thankful, and I feel very fortunate that I was able to attend. Like I said, I would love to go to another one, but definitely not going to be anytime soon. I would love to go to maybe a 9.0 or 10.0, but definitely not the next FanFest. They really need to do better about accommodating ADA attendees. They need to do better about, making the experience worth our while, because these tickets are expensive. It costs a lot of money just to get the ticket and to go to the place. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Hopefully they'll do better. So thank you for listening to my experience. You guys have a great day.